日本時間6月1日、ドジャースの山本由伸投手が本拠地でのフィリーズ戦に先発登板をしました。この日の山本投手は6回途中を投げ、10奪三振、4安打、無失点と好投し、5勝目を挙げました。試合後、フィリーズのマッティングリー監督、ターナー選手、そしてブライス・ハーパー選手は脱帽のコメント。さらに、フィリーズ側の現地メディアでも山本投手を称賛していました。ここからは、その様子を字幕付きでご紹介します。
Yoshinobu Yamamoto takes the mound this afternoon, hoping to keep the ball in the yard against a powerful Phillies lineup. Yamamoto has been prone to giving up the long ball this season. If you go back to 2024, allowed a total of 7 homers in his 18 starts. Last year, 14 home runs in 30 starts, but this year, he's already given up 9 home runs, which puts him on pace to give up 24 long balls. Now, Yoshi did not allow a home run in his last start after giving up 6 in the previous 4 outings, James, but do you have any concerns with the number of long balls that he has given up this year, especially going into a game like this where he's going to be facing Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper and company?
I don't really have any concern with a guy like Yamamoto. He's a guy that's going to attack the strike zone. Yeah, over time, you're going to give up some home runs. You know, I don't mind if they're solo home runs. I think the concern would be more if he gets some traffic on the base and, lay some pitches in there where they put together good swings. But a lot of times guys are, they're spitting on pitchers. They're taking some of his nasty pitches, looking for a certain pitch. So I think that's why he's given up some, more home runs that we're used to seeing. But he is so good at getting out of jams, getting ground ball double plays. So at the end of the day, I am not too concerned.
Listen, there was a future Hall of Famer that put on that Dodger uniform who just retired here, and I know he was here the other night, who gave up home runs as well. Yeah. And you know what he always say? If I give up one, it's going to be a solo shot. So that's what Yamamoto did. And we know Clayton Kershaw was not going to walk anybody. He wasn't going to give in. And so is Yamamoto. The other thing, too, the opposing team, let me tell you something. You did not want to have 2 strikes on Clayton Kershaw, so you were looking early and aggressive, and he was trying to get strike 1. Guess what? Yamamoto now, everybody's going, I don't want to get 2 strikes on Yamamoto. I'm looking early. He is trying to get strike 1 on me, so I am looking for a fastball. I'm looking to be aggressive. I'm looking to hunt something. All those things that you consider are going to factor into those so much, but there have been more solo shots. So I think his fastball might creep over the plate a little more at times, but at the same time, though, that's the only reason. I'm not too concerned about Yamamoto.
He's had back-to-back really good outings, allowing just 1 run over 7 innings in both of those starts. Nomar, both of those were on the road. And for whatever reason, Yamamoto's been not quite as good here at home. The ERA about 1.25 runs per game worse here at Dodger Stadium. 7 of the 9 home runs allowed this year have been here at home. How can he build on the last 2 starts in San Diego and Milwaukee and carry that into this one today?
Well, I think there's a couple things. Yamamoto just wants to do better for himself. One is that very first inning, be more efficient and put up a 0 there. So I think whether he has to get extra work in the bullpen or whatever and act like he's already got that first inning out of the way. But I think one focus on that, and he knows that. The other thing, too, is really that fastball. The fastball, I think, has been leaking over the middle of the plate a little too much, which has being hit a little bit more. But other than that, he seems to settle in. And when he settles in that second, third inning, he seems to be doing really well. So hopefully he gets that first inning out of the way, unblemished, and then keeps rolling.
Yeah, I mean, starting off obviously strong with strike 1, but I noticed a lot of times when he gets to 2 strikes, he's given up 5 home runs. And I think those pitches have just been left up. We know the stuff's always going to be there. And I really feel like when he attacks those guys and with that fastball, he makes that split so devastating, gets those ground ball outs. So just got to keep doing that.
I keep score with a pen, and I've already penciled in a W today. These guys are going to win.
Okay. Bold statement there, and I guess you can make that when you've got Yoshinobu Yamamoto going. His last couple starts, he's looked back to his MVP form.
He's looked really, really good. He's back to edgy. The split finger and the fastball are dominant. He's going against a Phillies team that you're really not going to beat by paper cuts. They can't string hits together. The only way they're going to beat him is the home run ball, and I think he'll be able to stay away from that. He's been throwing a lot of ground balls. His last start was a career high with 13 ground ball outs. Expect more of that today.
Much as for Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he's working through a few things, as you guys just hit on. There's one thing that he has been consistent and excellent with, and that's been providing length. If we look at the last 2 years, there's now been 13 occurrences in which he has thrown 7 or more innings of work. So he's able to get deeper into the game regardless as to where he's at. Dave Roberts today was saying, what does that do for a group? Not only does it provide dependability, but it also puts the team in a situation where they feel confident every time he takes the ball that they are in a position to win. So he is the right guy to be on the mound today, guys.
our big matchup. Interesting starting matchup today. Phillies rookie Andrew Painter against the 2025 World Series MVP Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yamamoto has been solid this season, 3.09 ERA in 10 starts, and Andrew Painter is looking to continue his recent run of success. His ERA is 2.60 in his last 3 starts. Dodgers starter is our player profile presented by Mount Holly Nissan. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, in his 3rd season with LA, posted a 2.49 ERA last year. He's got a 3.09 this season. He threw 6 shutout innings against the Phillies last year in the regular season, but the Phils got to him last October. Yamamoto allowed 3 runs in 4 innings in Game 3 of the NLDS. That was the only game the Phils won in that series. Ruben, how can the Phils replicate that success today?
Yamamoto reminds me of Yu Darvish. He will throw any pitch in any count, and he has 6, 7 pitches that he will go to. The key, in fact, is actually to get this guy to get the ball up. Now, the Phillies have been struggling with the ball up in the zone and with really high velocity. But this guy lives basically down in the zone, and you cannot chase down on him. You got to get him to elevate, which they did in the playoffs. They did have some success against him. Some walks, some base hits, a home run. They can make this guy work, but they got to make sure that he gets the ball up and in the zone. If they can do that, they can do some damage against him, even though he's been pitching really, really well.
Double digits, 10 strikeout of the day for Yamamoto. And that's how his day will come to an end. With a new season high 10 strikeouts, and you talk about different guy for different games. 3 strikeouts to go through 7 innings against the Brewers last weekend. 10 strikeouts to go through 5 1/3 here against the Phillies. And some run support to pair with it. Day is finished for Yamamoto. The book not yet closed. It's up to Klein to try and preserve the shutout on the line. But a season high 10 strikeouts for Yamamoto. Rehashes it with his interpreter Hiro. Yoshi's got quite the team around him, doesn't he? Kirsten telling us about Yada Sensei. Hiro is interpreter. I mean, you want to surround yourself with people that have good energy, positive energy, you enjoy being around, and all those guys just so joyful and great energies. Bohm takes a seat here on this foul ball. Yoshi was working as a lighting guy in the film industry. Went to college in Kyoto in Japan, then moved to the United States to New York and was with a lighting company. And then decided, I'm going to apply for an interpreter gig with the Dodgers. Turned out to be for Yamamoto. And those guys have been linked at the hip. Not just his interpreter, but it's his guy. He's there for whatever Yoshi needs. And with a big smile on his face for whatever that is.
Yeah, it's easy to see no matter what they're doing, they are thinking the best for him.
In the case with anything, though, it's not as much what you do as it is who you do it with.
Yeah, they're very unselfish, and you're right about their spirit. Yoshi, his English is not as good as Hiro's, of course, and Yoshi assigned Hiro to come interview me about where do I think Yamamoto could get better in spring training. And the only topic that we really kind of stumbled on is just reading hitters' swings during a game a little bit better, because he's so good at prepping and memorizing the scouting report. And of course, I'm not going to get involved with his mechanics or his workouts. So I said, you know, the only thing I could say is just continue to learn the league, but learn it moment by moment compared to the history of the hitter. And then we would go over, you know, how do you read? How did you read hitter swings? How did you read situations? And it was great. It was a great conversation, and I knew it was going back to Yoshi because Hiro was assigned to come talk to me.
And that's been a trademark of Yamamoto's since he started playing baseball. Is always looking for a way to get better. Very curious.
Well, the 30,000-foot view was he wants to win a Cy Young.
A Bohm 10-pitch walk here to greet Will Klein.
I hope I just didn't blow a secret right there, but it really is a compliment to both of them.
Some competition right there for that Cy Young pursuit.
Second baseman, Bryce.
For this National League Cy Young competition is something between those two guys. And of course, Paul Skeens, Christopher Sanchez for the Phillies has a 44-inning scoreless streak going. Jacob Mizorowski.
There are some years where there's like 4, 5, 6 pitchers that are barely separated, and one of them wins the Cy Young. And it's not a runaway. It's about how did the votes get divided. Who got a few more first place votes compared to third place votes. Got a chance to have that kind of class by the end of the year this year.
It's not your first experience with this team, and of course you did have spring training with this group as well, but what is it like when you have a guy like Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound?
Oh, it was fun. I mean, I was just in awe watching him out there. I mean, he's just mowing guys down. He's in complete control out there, and it was really fun to play behind him.
So did Yoshinobu Yamamoto, James. 5 1/3 scoreless innings, a season-high 10 strikeouts. Seemed like he got into a lot of 3-2 counts, and Dalton rushing 3 times that were called ball 4. He challenged. Those were reversed to strikeouts. Just an all-around really good day from Yamamoto, making the pitches when he needed to.
Yeah, great job by rushing today, having the confidence for the challenges. You know, he's back there framing those pitches perfectly. And I really like how Yoshi just kept going after guys. You know, it was kind of Ohtani-esque today. A lot of Ks, deep pitch, deep pitches and pitch counts. And that's what happens when you face good teams like this. They're going to foul pitches off. They're going to go deep in the count, but you got to keep attacking. I love seeing pitchers get hitters out on 3-2 counts, because 3-2 counts, you know, I mean, as a hitter, you kind of felt like you were in control. As a pitcher, he feels like he's in control. So who is going to win that battle? And Yoshi definitely won that battle today. He definitely had more in the tank, but Doc knows, you know, you want to save him for the long haul, get our elite bullpen in there, and that's exactly what happened today.
And we take a look at Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and he has had his way with the Phillies. He certainly did today, but they got to him in the playoffs in October, Ricky Bo.
Yeah, they did. But I mean, you know what? The one thing that was funny, you do have to get him up in the zone. He stayed down with movement for the most part, and he used the corners fairly well. He did give them some opportunities to hit the baseball. But when he got into good counts, he finished them off. I mean, he did see a lot of 3-2 counts. You saw the pitch count kind of going up early in the game. And then he got into a little bit of a groove, and the Phillies were lost. You see Schwarber 3 strikeouts tonight in a walk. I mean, you know, you want to see him be a little bit better at the top of the lineup. But, you know, I guess you got to give Yamamoto a little bit of credit. But you also have to look.
Credit.
Here we go. You have to look at this offense and say, is this an offense that is going to get us through the year? Mm-hmm. Yes, it's working right now, but there's only one reason this offense is working right now, and that's because your starting pitching is outstanding.
That's it. Look at the numbers on Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and they made him look even greater than he is. He is a great pitcher.
He's got great stuff. There's no question about it. But again, at some point you have to grind out some at bats, put the ball in play, figure out a way. There were pitches prior to all those strikeouts where they had opportunities to do some damage on some pitches and just couldn't barrel up the baseball. So, I mean, the result were strikeouts, but there were pitches earlier in many of those at bats where they had opportunities to do some damage.
Would you make their starting pitching this whole weekend?
Obviously, they're good. This is obviously a club that's a really good club. I thought we did a decent job with Yamamoto today. I mean, we didn't end up. The story for me was they got 2 out hits with guys in scoring position, and we weren't able to do it. We pushed this pitch count. We would have been we could have gotten the pin, you know, kind of 4 innings of pin. If we get a couple of hits in there, we just weren't able to capitalize and get ourselves back in the game. You know, and then we end up with guys in the game that we don't necessarily wouldn't use in a game on the line situation.
Trey kind of, when he lined up in the 7th, kind of threw his stuff down. Are you sensing frustration with him or the lineup as a whole, but just the way the runs have been a little bit hard to come up?
I'd say probably the lineup as a whole are frustrated. Obviously, guys get frustrated when they, you know, square something up. And, you know, he swung the bat good in San Diego. Probably came out of that feeling good, and then probably a little frustrated here.
No, I mean, obviously you don't want to play, you know, don't want to play bad or, you know, be at the bottom. I mean, that's not good. So, obviously our starting pitching has been great for us. So whenever you have starting pitching like that, you've got a chance to win games. So
Your starting pitching, I know, a very good rotation. You guys saw last year. The name
shut the guys down. It seemed like every single guy was throwing harder. Like, you notice anything maybe about how they approach you guys or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you're able to, throw against us or any pitcher that gets out there, they're going to throw their best stuff. I think Moto was 94, 95 against Milwaukee, and then he's 98, 99 against us. So obviously we're going to get their best stuff, and I love that. I like getting their best stuff, and they're a good team. They're a good club, obviously. Back-to-back world champs. But just got to keep playing our game, and like I said, we won the month. I don't think a lot of people thought we were going to do that. So won the month. Got to win June. Got to win all the way past that, and keep going.
The problem is his best stuff, Yamamoto, is better than your best stuff. At least certainly it was today. And it's difficult to kind of parse through all this and say, hey, 4-2 road trip, that's pretty good.
Training been really open with us about being frustrated about certain things. Kind of just boiled over at the end of the seventh there. Was it just a culmination of things? Was it pitcher at 4 that was just foul?
Yeah, pitch before I thought that was fair and wasn't, and then thought he took another great swing and just hit it right at somebody again. So yeah, just frustrated. And it feels like you do things right and still not going your way. It gets old. You can look at all sorts of numbers and stats, and I think that's what's frustrating is I feel like some guys are taking good swings, hitting the ball hard, and just not finding holes. It's at the end of the day, it comes down to whether or not you score the runs, and we haven't done that. So I think there's positive things to look at in there, but it's how do you get production out of that? And I think that's a hard question. So I think that's a lot of why I'm frustrated. It feels like every ball I hit over 95 miles an hour this series, I think it was out. So it's just like, you put the bat on the ball, you're hitting the middle of the barrel and not finding success. So, where do you go? What do you do? And I think, some other guys in here are like that as well. They think that they're doing things right, and it's just not adding up to runs and wins. And I think we have the players who are more than capable of it. But it's, like I said, at the end of the day, you gotta do it.
Yoshi, when you look at this outing, what do you think either led to the longer at-bats, the pitch count getting up, but of course you still being efficient, but how did you find just them kind of building the pitch count early in this one?
今日全体的に良かったと思うんですけども、序盤ちょっと球数がちょっと多くなったんですけど、そこの要因っていうのは何だったんでしょう。
追い込んで、決めれるところをちょっとなんて言うんだろう、ボールすぎる、ストライクに見えない、ボール球も多かったですし。そうですね、うまくコントロールしきれてはなかったんですけど、その分ボールの強さがあったので、なんとかこういう結果にはなったと思います。
Yeah, because once I got hit in the count, after that, because my pitches were, because apparently balls, not that, because I'm eerie or, because apparently balls, and then, but my pitches had it today. My pitches had a good force, energy, so I think I was able to grind it through the whole game.
That good force and that good energy you mentioned, is that what you believe led to just the swing and miss that you had today?
そこのボールに勢いがあったっていうことで、今日比較的空振りが取れたっていうことでしょう。
そうですね。練習の、今週の練習から、コンディションよく、投げれてたので、今日もマウンドに上がって、自信持って投げていくことができました。
So during the preparation this week towards to today's game, I was already having a great feeling, and then I think I was able to get myself pretty ready. I'm sorry, I was prepared pretty well, and then I was getting into the game with the confidence today.
Do you feel that the two challenges from Dalton in the first inning kind of helped you change some momentum there?
その勢いを保つっていうところで、そのラッシュのチャレンジ、あれは結構ヘルプになりましたか。
いいとこにいた感じがしてたので、チャレンジしてくれて、すごく良かったです。
Yeah, that was a good challenge because I believed I was hitting my spots, so that was a great challenge.
What's it say about this team? There's so much talk about the star power here, but today, yourself, Ryan, Alex Call in a pinch hitting role. I mean, the depth is just. What's it say about the depth of this team?
Everybody in this locker room is a superstar. A lot of us get overlooked just because we have guys like Shohei and Freddie, and I mean, everybody in this ball club or in this clubhouse can play.
Yoshinobu seems to have a little bit, struggling on his command. What did you see from him?
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of, yeah, that's what it was. He just didn't have that great command of the fastball, which I think led to some deeper counts. Didn't take on any damage, but it just led to a higher pitch count. So tried to get him into the 6th inning, which we did, but I didn't want to, push him too much further. But it just speaks to how good he is, where he or Shohei can not have their best stuff and, still go 5+ scoreless and things like that. But he'll be all right. He'll be all right.
I was just going to say, the idea that he maybe struggled, but he was still able to navigate it. He was still able to self-correct where he needed to.
Yeah, absolutely. And I still think that, he could have probably found a way to get through that 6th inning, but I just felt, to what cost. But it just speaks to these guys, the good ones, the really good ones, know how to get major league hitters out when they don't have their best stuff. And for the most part, you don't always have your A stuff every outing.
いかがでしたでしょうか。このチャンネルでは日本人メジャーリーガーなどを中心に野球情報をお届けしています。この動画が良かったら高評価、チャンネル登録をよろしくお願いいたします。今回も最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。